And then the other thing is that people always say Snyder can shoot films really well, but he can't tell stories. Yeah. And for me, with Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Justice League, I have broken those movies down a million times, and I'll tell you why they make sense. Anybody who wants to talk to me about it, feel free. Trent C. Tucker is my Instagram. DM me, and I will give you the whole breakdown on why any of those three movies make sense. And if you don't think it does, then
challenge you.
Yeah, well, then we'll have a discussion. But otherwise,
come at him. Yeah, we don't care. Come at him.
I can talk to you about it for days.
Yeah, come at him.
Right, but so I will 100% disagree with that forever.
Yeah.
But the more movies that come out, Army of the Dead, this Rebel Moon, the more movies that come out with his name on it that I don't think are written well, the less I can defend it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because like if he does 3 more movies that are shitty, now it's like, well, you've done 6 shitty movies. Or 4 or 5 shitty movies, but you still have the Justice League trilogy. You know what I mean? So it's like now you're starting to outweigh. You know, your good movies are starting to be outweighed by your bad movies.
Yeah.
This is Geek Off The Street, your go-to channel for all things from obscure geekdom to modern-day pop culture and everything else in between.
What's up, everybody?
Hello. Here we go.
We're back.
Yeah, we are.
We are officially back.
Yeah, now you probably didn't think, hey, they're not even gone.
Yeah, you did. You would have known that because we're so good at our jobs.
Yeah, we are. But we were gone.
Yeah,
we were gone.
Yeah.
Trust.
Well, half of us was gone.
Yeah, which means we were both gone. So
we'll get to that a little bit more. But my name's Trent,
and my name is Mark,
and this is Geek Off The Street. Greatest podcast of all time. Talk about geek culture, pop culture, whatever else we want. Deal with it. This week is no exception because we're covering the recently released Rebel Moon.
Yes,
Part
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Part 1. Yes.
Child of Fire, I think it's called.
Yes.
Yeah, on Netflix. The Zack Snyder film just came out actually last week as of this recording, right?
Yeah, he did.
A couple days ago.
He was the director of photography and
or
is that
maybe
the term? Something like that. He had a couple hats.
Did that? He directed the movie.
Co-wrote it. Yeah.
So a lot of hats. This is like. You know, he gets to do exactly what he wants over here at Netflix, just making the movies he wants to make.
Right.
But that's what we're gonna get into. But before we get into that, what are we drinking this week?
Yes, we are drinking. This was our own concoction.
Yes.
You can watch the video, but we also have the disclaimer: if this is a drink that's already out there, then that was just a coincidence.
Yeah.
But we're like 99.7% sure.
Yeah.
This is a Geek Off The Street original.
Yeah.
And it is called the Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
Crafty.
Yep. It's got a little bit of vodka.
Yes.
Not triple sec. The other one's peach schnapps.
Peach schnapps and some strawberry syrup.
Yep, and a little bit of lemon.
And a little bit of lemon juice.
That tartness. Lemon juice, yeah. And it's
really simple.
Not bad.
Really
Pretty simple,
simple,
but tasty. It's got the color of that moon, that planet in the background.
Yeah, that giant
Saturn-looking planet. Yeah. That's pretty good. Sweet.
Yep.
Little tart.
Gotta love the peach schnapps.
Yeah, that's tasty. And I'll be happy with that for sure. When Rebel Moon Part 2 comes out, I'll probably make a Rebel Moon Part 2 cocktail. So.
Right, yes. Yeah. We'll come up with something.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah.
Blow your minds.
But as we were saying before, if you guys paid attention closely to the last 3 episodes.
They're like, what the hell are they talking about?
What are they talking about right now? You'll kind of see that some things got misplaced.
A little out of order.
And out of order a bit because, I guess we can say it now, Mark was out of town for of course, the 2 episodes, basically.
Yeah.
So we had to pre-record some episodes to make sure you guys were able to still follow along with Geek Off The Street, even though we weren't physically here during that time.
Shooting the show.
Yeah, so some organization issues happened, mostly on my end. I wasn't sure how I was going to organize the episode releases.
But it's all good.
We still got them out, and if you didn't notice, well, hey.
Then good on us.
Yeah, then we did our jobs.
Yeah, I think I gave you a gift.
Yeah.
First, that was in response to a gift that you gave. So it's like, wait a minute, what's he talking about? Yeah.
But you think there was one part where you said I'll give you a gift in the past, and that's actually what happened. You did give me the gift before, but just a different time.
Gonna get a little timey wimey.
Yeah, I got a little wonky there because we couldn't. Yeah, but we still got the job. We still got the episodes done.
Yeah, that's the important thing, that we kept the show going.
Exactly.
No breaks.
Yeah. for us, not at all.
Right.
We keep it going, no matter what.
Good for us,
Yeah.
yes. But I'll keep it brief so we can get right into the show, I suppose. But yeah, I was out of town. I took a bit of a family trip. We went to Germany. We sailed down the Rhine.
That's
Viking
cool.
cruise. Yeah, it was fantastic. The scenery, the architecture, the churches out there were just they're monuments to mankind, engineering.
Yeah.
To God too. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing. And considering they were built like in, we were talking in like the 12th, 13th, 14th century, whatever.
Yeah.
And these things are like, 400, 500 feet tall. And they're not just built for height. They're built with, with art and design, and it's amazing. It would be so domineering to live in that time frame, and you see like the biggest thing for, miles and miles and miles around are these churches. And then along the Rhine, they have all these like these, I want to say fortifications, that's not the right word, but like forts and castles and structures. They're all along the Rhine. It's very cool, and they got a lot of industrial, a lot of business stuff. Factories are there. They have like towns that are along the Rhine, and then they've got locks. So like once you dock your ship in the lock, so they can get you to the next part. It was an amazing trip on the Viking cruise, and the staff was fantastic. The meals were fantastic. It's a 3-course meal every meal.
That sounds great.
And the food is great. You can eat in town, or you can just you can eat on the ship, and you're gold, and you don't have to pay for anything when you're having your meals. Like wine and beer are complimentary.
Wow.
So you can just just go through as much as you want. Yeah.
Well, knowing me, I would have eaten all those meals.
Yeah.
But also had like second breakfast in town. And then
yeah,
pre-lunch in town,
right, yeah, do that
lunch.
whole Hobbit thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. mid-morning meal, like stuff, yeah. But no, that sounds freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, and it was at Christmas time, so Christmas time in like Germany, France, the Netherlands, all that kind of stuff was remarkable. It was great. They have a lot of festivals out there. They have a drink called Glühwein, which is essentially it's very similar to mulled wine. If anybody's had that, it's warm wine with a little bit of like spices and seasonings in it. Fantastic. And they got different ones out there too. Like I've always had it with red wine. Yeah. They have with white wine. They have it with like spirits and alcohol, like different alcohols poured on top of it, light it on fire. People out there are fantastic. Germany, love you. Germany's gotten a bad rap over the years. Like they're how mean and like almost like the whole resting bitch face kind of thing. The people are great. The shop owners, like everybody speaks English. Yeah. Which just made me feel even dumber. Like everybody speaks English, and I know like Danke and I know Deutschland.
Yeah, you should have connected with our 22 listeners in Germany.
Yeah, I know. I was out there repping it too. I had my Geek Off The Street T-shirt. I was having I only wore it like I didn't want to like rewear it and be all funky, but so people could like scan the barcode or the QR code on the back and all that kind of stuff. So
nice, very nice.
Fantastic trip, and maybe we'll be able to post some pictures or we'll do something. But I highly recommend it. Kind of get out of your comfort zone. Always wanted to travel and go to Europe and that kind of thing. Just found excuses not to do it. So, and I did it now and zero regrets.
Man,
zero regrets.
That's pretty awesome.
It was amazing. Amazing.
And I've always wanted to go to Europe, man. I haven't had a chance to, so one of these days.
Yeah. And I can dig it, man. Like I said, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I said, I'll do it next time. And, never got around to doing it. So, yeah. I know you're Japan on the list now.
Oh,
that'll be on the list now of places to go.
You got it.
You've done that.
Yeah, that's the greatest place ever. So yeah. But cool, man. That's solid. All right, let's get to the show then, huh?
Let's do that.
So again, we're talking about Rebel Moon.
Yes.
By the can we call him controversial or polarizing director, Zack Snyder.
Polarizing might be a good way to put it. Not for any like, political or any sort of like ethical reasons or whatever, but some people love him, some people
like hate him.
Yeah. And I think there are some people that are maybe a little more kind of ambiguous about it. They're kind of, they do, some people like some of the stuff he does and they don't like some of the stuff he does. I think there are some people that are like that, which is good. It shows more of a bit of open-mindedness as opposed to just, hating him. But that's everybody's prerogative, as, film watchers. So that you're 100% justified if that's how you feel.
Yeah. And he's, that's true. That's true. But he is a very,
yeah, you're right.
It's hard hard to really put, like, he's not, it's exactly. He's polarizing. He's not all one thing. Not everybody likes him. Not everybody hates him. He's a real mixed bag for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not like certain directors, like you hear about Spielberg or like Ron Howard, like they're straight across the board. Oh yeah, these guys are phenomenal filmmakers that have made classics. Like his name isn't in that group. But everybody knows who he is because of how divisive the fan base is,
and the style that he's made. He's created a style for himself.
Very distinct.
A lot of people don't do that. So good. I mean, that's
he's one of those guys. If you watch his movie, you'll know it's his.
Exactly,
just based on his colors, the saturation in his colors, and the style, the way everything looks. He's very, very distinct. You can tell if you're watching one of his movies.
Right. He's got his fingerprint on it.
Yeah, which is always a good thing.
I think so.
Because I think being a director, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little more self-absorbed when it comes to that, but I would like people to know what my style is. If I had a style as a director,
right?
Like this is it says you stand out. Because some movies you don't know. You really can't tell who it is.
Yeah. I would think the same thing. Like I would want somebody to know, like oh, this is whatever. Yeah, this is me. This is so and so, or this is that guy, kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. That is art.
Yeah, exactly.
Having your own style. So
right. So anyway, as everybody knows, Zack Snyder had a very tumultuous time at Warner Brothers doing the DC films.
Right.
And then he finally had fully left. He was done. The Snyder Cut came out I'm not gonna get into the Snyder Cut stuff, but that was a long debacle. And when that finally came out, he had completely cut ties with Warner Brothers. Netflix offered him a deal to basically make whatever he wanted to make over there. And he started that off with
Army of the Dead.
Which, fortunately wasn't the greatest for me.
We reviewed it, and I think across the board we were a little underwhelmed with it, unfortunately.
Which is weird because on Rotten Tomatoes it still has a pretty decent score.
Does it?
In comparison to this one. So now this new Rebel Moon film is it's essentially it was originally a Star Wars pitch that he had that Disney didn't want to do.
Yeah, like over 10 years ago, I think, right?
A long time ago. Yeah. So he's been sitting on this for a long time. And so now Netflix offered him the opportunity to do what he wanted. So he took that Rebel Moon script and developed his own thing. And now he's creating this entire new world based on this, on this movie. Starting with this movie. And basically it's about a simple premise about, space colony that gets involved is a farming community that gets, kind of
sucked into the whole, galactic empire.
Right.
That's out there.
This is big, I guess, kind of a war, a rebellion, kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah. The story starts off with a bit of narration to kind of, set it up to a little bit of world building so you know what's going on. But apparently there was a king that had ruled, or I should say there was a dynasty family, essentially. A royal family that ruled for,
1,000
years. And then at one point this royal family gets assassinated. Some other senator comes up and kind of takes control, and he's kind of ruling with an iron fist. And that's where we are in the story. He sounds like he's only been in command for, I don't know, maybe 20-ish years, something like that, 30-ish years maybe. And so where the story starts off is it starts off on one of these planets it sounds like it's like on the outskirts of the big empire kind of thing, and they're kind of being drawn into it. They're just a very simple farming community. They don't have a whole lot of crazy technology going on. And it is, you can kind of see it's a little bit of that, that Star Wars, aspect of it where, just some simple people living a simple life. And the cool thing is they have chosen to live this simple life. They're basically farmers, and that's what they want to do. That's what they want to be. And that's all they want to do is just, they want to live on their world and, and live off the land and just be at peace. And then, like you were saying, the empire.
Yeah, the mother planet or whatever they call it. Mother something.
Yeah, mother. Yeah, I was going to say
mother
something else,
world or something. Yeah,
mother.
Yeah, mother effers show up and start wreaking havoc. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Essentially, the main character is a former.
Yeah, it turns out she was part of that empire.
Yeah,
somewhat of a high-ranking person.
Yeah,
apparently.
and then she had defected, I guess, or something. We're not really quite sure yet.
Yeah.
But she essentially defected and was was living among this farming community.
Yeah,
and then she gets forced to get drawn back into this conflict.
Right,
and
she's trying to save her people.
Yeah,
save her newfound home.
Exactly.
And I've heard people kind of compare it to Seven Samurai, the whole concept of we got to get a team together to defend the community.
Exactly.
Whatever. Yeah. So, and that's the whole point of this first movie. I think it's just not. I think it seems like that's what it is. It's them gathering the forces together, and that's I don't know. That's kind of the good and the bad of it in a sense. But So I mean, let's go. Man. You got me
getting to the positives.
Yeah.
So man, this one's a weird one to talk about overall for me because a lot of it's kind of mixed in.
Right.
But like right off the bat, everyone knows how I feel about his DC films, just his three. The rest of the stuff, whatever. You can I take it or leave it.
Yeah, you're a big fan.
But his trilogy, I'm a big fan of his trilogy. A lot of people aren't.
Yeah, right.
And but I am a big fan of it. I'm not going to get into a discussion about it. You guys can go back to any episode outside of this one.
That's cool.
And hear me talk about
arguments too. I mean,
yeah. And I feel like I've made some decent points about it.
Definitely.
And it makes me wonder why his films are so criticized as far as like critically, like I'm gonna start off right now by saying that this film is sitting at 23% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
23%, which is very, very low.
It's very low.
And I'm gonna compare it to some other movies that are in that same range and other movies that are much higher that I don't think you need to be there, but I'll get to that when we get to the rating side of things.
Yeah.
So I wonder why his movies are so criticized when I don't think rightfully they are,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great things about how he makes films, about his style, about the way he shoots things, his action sequences. Everything is very specific to who he is, or as a director. And I do like his style. I like his colors. A lot of people don't like the oversaturation of his colors, but I think it looks great aesthetically.
Yeah.
Me personally. And so with that said, just getting into it, I really like that Zack Snyder takes big swings. Like he doesn't take any he doesn't care other than what he wants to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is I think is the greatest thing about any artist is doing what you want to do at the end of the day, not letting anybody else tell you how to make your art. You know what I mean? And so he takes big swings, and kudos to Netflix for allowing him to take these big swings. You know what I mean? And the fact that he's creating this original world, because really look around. I mean, name the last original movie that you've seen.
Yeah, and that's been an argument I think we brought up, several times. On previous episodes, like nobody is doing anything original anymore.
Yeah, everything's
or it's just being rehashed. And there's nothing wrong with taking something, maybe from a book that has come out and you turn that into a movie. Hollywood's done that from day one.
Yeah, right.
From the 1920s, they've been doing that, so that's fine. But no one is coming up with anything original. Yeah. Like Star Wars was. It was a completely original thing. So.
Yeah. And even like even like Nolan's last movie was Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
That is a historical, drama. Maybe there's some fictional parts about it. I haven't seen the movie yet, but that's even that is based on something.
Yeah.
So there's every movie for the most part, not every movie, but a lot of movies, especially the major theatrical release movies, are based on something else, or tied into Star Wars or Marvel or DC or any other big property that's already established. That's tied into. I like that this movie is not connected to anything. This is a completely wholly original film and universe.
Yeah.
And so for the first, maybe the first hour, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the first hour of the movie with the setup, the shots, the characters, what they were building towards. I thought there was a lot of great moments, and then building up to that first fight sequence in the barn with with the soldiers, like all that. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. I'm actually really enjoying this. Obviously, after it gets past that, it gets a little wonky for me, but I'll get into that with negatives. But yeah, I really like the setup. I like that this is a really original world. Just that first shot of her doing the harvesting with the big planet in the background.
Right.
Like it's clear this is an alien world. We're in space somewhere in some galaxy, wherever, far away.
No, it's just far away.
Far away, yeah. But it's very clear this is its own universe.
Right.
In that regard, the story aside, we'll get into that later. But I really enjoyed that he did something original. Try to do something original. Yeah. Any positives you had?
The way it looks, someone can always complain about something, but for the most part, the way it looks, it was very cool. I know some people complain about the whole out of focus stuff that he does with some of his shots. I don't have an issue with it myself. I feel like I kind of get the point of it when he's doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't have an issue with it, but I get it if some people do.
Yeah.
It's all good. That's
if you don't like the style,
if you don't like it, you don't like it.
That's the thing. Yeah. If you don't, and I think I feel like it was less so in this one than it was in. I think I was really noticeable in the Army of the Dead.
Big time.
Kind of almost distracting.
Yeah.
But in this one, I think I was a little bit more.
Right. It wasn't as distracting. It wasn't like as huge as it was in that. That was almost like the whole point of some of the shot was to be blurry and out of focus like that. So sometimes when he has a close up on someone's face and everything else is kind of blurry in the background, like I don't have an issue with it. I feel like he's making sure the attention is there. I think it's done intentionally.
This is the point of it. Yeah.
So I don't have an issue with it myself. Some people do. That's cool.
Yeah.
Again, it does look great. I know I think a lot of people have talked about the guy that clearly he was supposed to be kind of representative of I would assume like a Native American community. I can't think of his name. Tarek.
Tarek. Yeah.
There's a scene where he's riding a Griffith or trying to break a Griffith to ride it kind of thing. They don't call it a Griffith. I mean, it's a Griffith. Maybe they do call it a Griffith. I don't even know.
No, they call it was something else. Yeah,
it was
definitely a Griffin because it had like the lion feet. I mean, the wings and the...
It had the 100% it was.
Lion.
Right. The whole...
Oh, but they changed it by making the face of a bird, right? Is that different? Or is it the face of a lion with the Griffin?
I want to say a chimera has the face of a lion. A griffin, it has the face of a hawk.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's pretty much what it looks like.
Getting my mystical creature.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sorry.
Yeah. So, the whole choice of a creature like that just made me think, like, why are you doing, you know what I mean? Now we can say a unicorn next, but that, that's whatever.
Yeah.
But it looked cool.
Yeah.
It looked cool. And then him trying to, break it, trying to get, because they were trying to get ropes on it so they can saddle it and all this kind of, like the same way you break a horse.
Yeah.
So that's what he was doing. It looks great. A lot of the stuff throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. So that is probably my biggest positive about it.
Yeah, you definitely can't. I don't know, like he knows how to shoot things really well, I think, and he knows how to his design, special effects, like it never looks like super fake to me.
Yeah,
like the detail and the design, he has that down for sure. Like I felt like I was in like on another planet or in space, like all the ship stuff, the fight sequences, the lasers and all that kind of stuff, like that looked like that world. You know what I mean? It looked real. Like sometimes even modern day effects driven films look fake.
Right.
Like you can really tell how fake they look. Snyder, I think, really does a good job of making things look real. Like even with Man of Steel from 2013, a lot of that looked really good.
Yeah,
really good.
Great.
So and that's like 10 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think he does have a control over that. His design and style is I think pretty unmatched in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Oh man, as far as other positives are concerned, I mean, and I think I did like the beginning part. I did like that android or that robot that they had. That was kind of an interesting character.
Yeah.
I thought
not a lot of time with him, but
not a lot of time at all.
But they're pointing at things that might happen with him, I think, which is cool.
Yeah.
You know, obviously maybe some kind of sentience, artificial intelligence type thing, maybe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely say it seems like it's like that. And it's kind of lost its purpose. His whole point was to guard the royal family or whatever, and then the royal family's gone. So it's got nothing to do now. Or I shouldn't say it's got nothing to do, but what it was designed for. So I'm kind of looking forward to, which we all know is going to happen. Like the royal family in some form is going to come back, and this guy's going to find his purpose again. So I'm kind of curious, to see that. I don't know. Do you have any other positives?
And we'll get into the execution of it. I mean, I don't really care about this is Seven Samurai in space. Like, I don't really care about that. That's a negative. Whatever. If you think it's negative, fine, but that means you have the same negative for Avatar, which is Dances with Wolves in Space. So like, if that's your argument, then you better have the same argument with that too. You know what I mean? Because if that's your issue of them drawing on something else, then be consistent with it. Like it doesn't bother me that he's drawn from that. He's obviously he's a big fan of Kurosawa. He always talks about that. That's one of his big influences. And so, I mean, you can see it in this movie a lot. The way he films things, that artistically shoots things. Kurosawa was like that as well, And obviously that was his movie too, So I mean, that doesn't bother me about it. The execution, I'll get into that with negatives, but that doesn't. Who doesn't draw on something from somewhere?
Sure.
Inspiration, and I think that's kind of an unfair thing to point at.
I would agree with that too, because I would have no issue, because I think you see that all the time. I mean, you see it like, there was the Magnificent Seven that came out back in the 70s, I think.
Yeah, and then the remake of that, which was kind of recent with Denzel Washington and
and Chris Pratt. Right. So same thing. There's nothing wrong with that if it's something classic like that, and it's cool and it resonates, and that's fine. I think another positive, this is a little bit weird now that I'm thinking about how to say it, is I guess my positive is I didn't hate it. I didn't watch it like, oh, that's dumb. Oh, that's dumb. Oh, that's dumb. Or that doesn't make sense. There are those moments or whatever, but I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it and hated it as I went through the movie, which I'm glad for, because a lot of times nowadays when I'm watching a movie, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, that's completely dumb, or that doesn't make sense, or blah, 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 or whatever, and it just kind of throws me out of it. And I'm not saying this movie doesn't have that, but for whatever reason, maybe the way he does it, maybe he gets through it fast enough. I don't know, but I didn't go through the movie and hate it. I didn't once I got to the end of it, I was mad.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll watch a movie and you'll be mad at the end of it.
Right. Thing, Yeah, I agree. Same thing. And I wonder if the reason for me was that there was no way to know what was coming. Because this is again not connected to anything else, so you're not looking for Easter eggs. You're not looking, how is this connected to this movie? How is this connected to this universe?
Point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, there's 100% no way of knowing what's coming next.
Right.
And then the style is so specific.
Yeah.
The action sequences are so specific. Everything's so stylized. I think there's enough kind of keeping your interest.
Right.
Because a normal person would want to know more about what's going on in this world that we know nothing about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that may have been what kept me from going completely to this shit sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people did with this movie.
That's a good that makes a lot of sense, because there are so many movies that are out nowadays where you are looking for the Easter egg, you're comparing it to the original source, whether it's a book, comic book, movie, whatever the original thing was, you're comparing it to that. and there was nothing to do. I bet, yeah, that's interesting because it feels like a lot of the sci-fi audience that's what you do now.
Yeah,
with all the stuff that we're getting nowadays, you look and compare it to what came in the past.
Yeah,
and you couldn't do that with this. So if you're watching this movie in a whole different manner.
Yeah, because it's just because it reminds me of what's so jacked up about Aquaman 2 that came out. Not a lot of people went to go see it, and the main reason
it was out.
is too, right. But the main reason is that this is the last movie in the DCU, doesn't connect to anything, so why am I gonna go watch it? That's not the reason why you should go watch it in the first place. But now it's become so we've become so conditioned for it to connect to something else with superhero films. That's why you're going to watch it. But for that to be a reason for you to not go that doesn't connect with anything, it's kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, by the same token with this, you have no idea if or what or, when it's going to connect with something else. You're just watching it in real time, figuring out what's going on with the movie. And I think that's a big part of why it kept my interest, at least,
right,
in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I mean, I watched, engaged, until it got to the end of it. And I was like, okay, well, that's that. So
yeah, right. Yeah, that's kind of that's kind of my reaction at the very end too. Was like, that's that. But and then I will say that I liked the idea of some of the characters. Like they're all different. They all have different skill sets.
Yeah, how
they were introduced and how, what role they played in the movie going forward. That's something different.
Right.
But I do like the idea of some of these characters. I don't know, is that lady using lightsabers or whatever those things were? Sure, let me see some more of those lightsaber things. Yeah. I like some of the weapons, that kind of stuff. I wanted to know more about who these people were. I just didn't like how they were introduced and utilized for the rest of the movie. But I did like the idea of it, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good positive, but maybe I'm just kind of grasping the straws now. But,
no, I get it.
But I think we talked. But I mean, those are the obvious ones, I think. Yeah. Any more? Or should we get into negatives?
I can't think of too many more other than what's already been said. So
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did like the fight sequences for the first fight sequences specifically. I liked a lot. That was a cool kind of jarring experience, and it felt like get those guys, you deserve it. It's one of those moments where it's because they killed the father, the leader, kind of mercilessly. Yeah. And then they're about to have their way with this girl, all of them. And I was like, kill those motherfuckers. Those guys need to die. Yeah. And it was like a satisfying death. And then I like when again, how it's all the reason why it all happens, the final battle. There are some parts about that I liked. I think I liked. I did like for the same reasons, her taking out the main bad guy. That needed to happen, even though I guess he's still alive. But just it's satisfying. They got what they deserved. You know what I mean? But. And I was pretty into that last part of the movie. I was kind of. I
did like that last fight scene was cool.
Yeah,
I did think that was cool.
Yeah,
it felt very visceral. Is not the right word, but it was pretty grounded. I suppose.
Yeah.
They were just kind of trading punches and didn't have any sort of weapons or anything crazy on them, as I recall.
Yeah,
it was just them just kind of going at it.
Yeah.
On this small platform. And trying to not die.
Yeah, no, I think I read something about Zack Snyder talking about that. Is that it was a sci-fi futuristic fictional world, but he wanted that grounded hand-to-hand combat kind of thing, and that you see that a lot in the movie. A lot of that simple hand-to-hand combat stuff,
Right, a lot of it.
Yeah, so which I thought was refreshing.
Right.
I didn't need to see people in jetpacks and hover shoes and whatever else you think about having in the future. So
right.
Yeah, but I guess we can get into some negatives, huh? Yeah. The big one is that, so I was saying, I liked the first hour in the movie. It was really, really good, the first hour. And I was like, I don't understand why people hated this movie. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. And I'll still get into more of that, but once she started putting the people together, that was really floppy to me.
Right. I think that's everyone that is making any sort of criticism of it. That's probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like it happened so easy.
Right.
It's just that everyone just falls into place. And I guess you find out that Charlie Hunnam, I don't know what his name was in the movie, but the pilot guy.
Yeah.
Like, I guess he was setting him up the whole time, I guess, but whatever.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
sure. That's why he had joined in. But the rest of them, like, I know if Ryan George does the pitch meetings for this, his super easy, barely inconvenience is going to be with that General Titus guy, where he's like, I have no, he's like, I have no redemption. And he's like, I don't have time for pity. You need to make up for your things. And then all of a sudden he just stands up and he's good. So that's going to be the super easy, barely inconvenience.
Right. Yeah, you're never going. You're never going to get him.
Yeah,
it's just going to be super easy. Barely inconvenience.
Oh, dude, yeah, they're never going to get this disgraced general. Yeah. Actually, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen, because like what was the point? And so my point to all that is that this is when it started. The movie started to feel cheesy, and it didn't work because it was taking itself so seriously. Like, all these moments were kind of clashing, because it was like, that's so unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you're doing with this serious music, the way it's shot, the way they're acting. It's like, it's supposed to be taken very seriously and be very redemptive and very, like, encouraging.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel that way at all, because it just felt super cheesy. And then I kind of felt like, I was like, ugh, this is actually a little douchey.
Yeah.
Or not that. Maybe not douchey is the right word, but like, kind of like, I was like, it's a little off-putting, because it seems like you're taking yourself very seriously and it's coming off as cheesy. And I didn't, all those moments, even with the, like the guy, even that guy with the bird thing. Yeah. Like, that was like, I kind of laughed. I was like, this is the sequence of things. Like, that's the bet, is that he has to train this thing.
And then you'll set him free.
Yeah. And has he not tried before?
Right.
Exactly.
Like, right. That's the question. Right.
Like, why is that the thing? Why is that the bet? It's like these sequence of things just like, it seemed like so random. It's like, well, I do like gambling. Let's try to tame this guy. If you tame him, you can leave. If not, you're all my slaves. Yeah. It was like silly.
Like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Right. Like, they're trying to create these like stakes that like didn't
that don't feel real.
Yeah, I don't feel real at all. And like none of the characters, like this, and like I'll probably get crucified for this, but all like this felt like Rogue One to me. Like a bunch of characters that weren't developed, that you don't really care about. And then at the end, it's like, if someone dies, it's like, well, I don't really care about you guys, because none of you guys were inspiring. None of you guys there's no history about any of you. None of you have any reason to be who you are. So why do I care about any of you? Like, they all just kind of came together because of why. Yeah. Like, that's not explained. Like, why? And then when they're on the platform at the very end, why are they all like buddy and like, yeah, we're all in this together. Like, you guys just met. Right. Like 5 minutes ago. And there's really no interaction with any of you guys.
Right. We see nothing. There's no sort of camaraderie. There's no sense of you guys coming together.
Yeah. Like,
and then the why of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't believe any of the conversations that they all had with each other, because I was like, why are you guys having these like weird? It's like you guys are having like the post conversation. Yeah. But you guys didn't tell us how you got there. You know what I mean? Like, there's like that, like every, like, especially when she's talking to the pilot guy before he takes him to, get him set up. Yeah. Like, there's like this like kind of friendliness. Like, we've been through a lot together. Like, have you guys? Yeah. Right. You guys have literally stopped by, picked people up. They said yes immediately and flew off to the next person. Like, there's
yes immediately.
Yeah. Yes immediately. So there's no like, what? So like all that sequence just did not seem right to me. It didn't fit right. It was really random. Like, the samurai lady going to the spider den to save this little girl for what? Like, what is all this randomness? It's just super random like stuff that didn't really.
Yeah, you get to see everybody's cool, whatever. You get to see so to speak, Native American guy, with his shirt off, running around, jumping on a Griffith. That's great. You get to see, Asian lady with, two
sword of lightsabers, but not really.
Yeah. Flight savers, we'll call them. I don't know. Yeah. She gets to run around and
chop off some limbs from a spider.
Right. You get to see her, fight. So there's that. You get to see the general who's drunk and
covered in shit or whatever.
I got no redemption. I can't think of a reason to fight. What about revenge? I never thought of revenge.
Let's go get revenge.
Now you got me.
Now I'm inspired.
I'm going to join you. Yeah, my thing with this movie, and it's weird because I didn't hate the movie because like you said, there's nothing to compare it to. So you watch each scene. Yeah. But and this is again just obvious. The movie was not put together very well. You know, I don't hate it, but it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't done well. Mm-hmm. And I know the very first scene where they showed like the giant, you know, they showed like the Jupiter or Saturn giant gas planet, you know, right out, you know, on the horizon. And this is maybe a bit of a nitpick. I won't call it a negative. To me, it felt that was very close to see a planet that close. Yeah. I feel like you're probably not going to have much of an atmosphere. You're not going to have, you know, your moon is going to get torn apart. Your moon's going to get pretty effed up. If you're that close to your planet where you can see it, where it takes up like 80% of the sky kind of thing. Well, I shouldn't say 80% because there's, you know, the rest of the sky. But in that shot, it seemed like the planet was very prevalent. And I don't know if, you know, let's say, you know, you go to Titan one day, you know, I don't know if Titan has the same, if you were on the surface of Titan, if that's what, I can't remember. It's Jupiter or Saturn. Yeah. I don't know if that's what Saturn would look like. If it would like just completely dominate the horizon. Oh yeah. But that, I mean, it looked cool. But yeah, that's and I don't know, so I can't comment on that.
And I was almost gonna disagree with you until I remembered that when they take off from the planet, they fly through the asteroid belt that's the rings for that planet. I was like, there's no way you guys are gonna be that close to that planet, leaving this planet, like scientifically.
Yeah.
There's no way. Yeah. Unless you guys are on that planet's moon, maybe. But I don't know.
Yeah, and again, that's
nitpicky.
It's a nitpick. It's a nitpick. But I think throughout, though, I don't know if I ever really saw anything that I thought was like, you know, amazing or cool. You know, and that's throughout. Like, you know, that very first fight scene where they're in the barn. Like, I didn't think that looked well. Like, did those guys need to get their asses kicked? 100%. I didn't buy the fight though. I didn't buy her going into this room, this barn of I don't know, like 6, 7, 8 soldiers, and she's single-handedly like just beating the hell out of all of them. I didn't the way it was shot, I suppose, it didn't feel believable to me. And then again, like I'm moving on to the next thing now. Like every scene was just, here's a scene, here's a scene, here's a scene, here's a scene, as opposed to A leads to B, B leads to C, C leads to D. I mean, that's the obvious complaint. Everybody knows that has watched this. And again, like the weird thing is, like I don't hate the movie. It's so weird that I don't. When I got to the end of it, I wasn't like, you son of a bitch. Right. Yeah. I didn't hate it, but I think it's obvious that it just wasn't put together very well. And then, you know, there's supposed to be talk about another version coming out, a rated R version. Yeah. And Zack Snyder, like, he talked about it and said like it's almost a different movie. Which I don't understand. Yeah,
why.
So why?
Yeah, but they did say that the reason why they made a PG-13 version is because it premiered in theaters. So Netflix wanted the option to have more audience, like a bigger sale. Yeah. So that was the reason why he had to do a PG-13 cut. But I defended the Snyder cut forever. Sure. Until it finally came out, and I celebrated it, and I loved it. Right. But now it's kind of like, why do you have another cut? You're in control of everything here. Yeah. Like, why do you have another cut? And why are you saying it's completely different from the original cut? Like, when there's not much studio interference in the way that it was in the past for you. But why is there another version of this movie that is completely different, as you say from the horse's mouth? You know what I mean? And why do we got to wait for it to come out on Netflix at some undisclosed time? Yeah. Like, that doesn't, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, I probably will watch it.
Yeah, 100%. So will I.
It probably will do well because people will watch it. Yeah. Will it be good? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, because just based off what I've seen so far, I'm not impressed with anything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really care about any of these characters. You know, when you know, and especially the way they introduce them and bring them in, and we only get to really like see them for like 5 minutes, and then we're moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
And I get that, you know, maybe he's trying to, you know, get to part 2. That's going to be the bigger, better, whatever. But I don't care about anybody right now. So it's not going to, you know, even if number 2 is like great, it's still going to be saddled with this, you know, poor number 1 version.
Yeah.
And again, going back to this, you know, this rated R version or the second version that's coming out, like the only thing that you can really do different is maybe explain, you know, get into the characters' backgrounds a little bit more.
Yeah. Like edit, like the sequence is different, but then why would you have released it in this order?
Yeah, and then how long is it going to be? Because this movie's already like, wasn't it like 2.5 or close to
2 hours
like 2:20?
and 15 minutes. Yeah, I mean 10 minutes of the credits were 10 minutes long.
Okay, so yeah, so let's just call it a 2-hour movie or
yeah.
whatever. Like, if you put in the scenes that you should have put in the original,
yeah.
Now you've turned it into a 3-hour movie,
right?
And it's a 3-hour movie based on what you've already like that. It's that whole first impressions thing. You've already given me a very bad first impression of this one, so I'm gonna be, once I see the second one, I'm gonna be even more pissed, because let's say it is great. I'm gonna be mad that you put this one out. You know?
Yeah, because now I like. So with Batman vs Superman, right? The theatrical version was very different from the Ultimate Cut version, right? Because studio interference, he had to they resequenced some events, they changed the order of scenes, and it made the movie really nonsensical. The Ultimate version was put in the right order. It was his cut, his version that he got to decide on, and like, this is how I actually wanted to organize this movie. Yeah, and it was much better. And I love BVS Ultimate Edition. Yeah. Now, I can defend him for that because the studio screwed with the first cut. I can't really defend him for this because you decided on this PG-13 cut, and then you also decided on this rated R cut that you had a hand in both of them. Like, there's nobody telling you, other than maybe, hey, make it PG-13 so we can put it in theaters. Other than that, there's nobody else telling you how to put this movie together. So I can't defend that. I can't defend you now this time around, because it's like, you're doing it to yourself. So now it's like, dude, the more movies you put out, the harder it is to completely believe what happened at Warner Brothers. Now, obviously, it's everybody talks about how Warner Brothers screws with the artists and you know, the way they make the movies and stuff. Like, Warner Brothers has a big hand in that, and no one's gonna disagree with that. But like, the more that this happens, like, why is the same thing happening to you over and over again? And this time it's 100% in your control. Right. So like, I wonder, are you like, what? I don't know. What's the issue here?
Yeah.
You know
how innocent are you, so to speak, or guilty or whatever?
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that people always say Snyder can shoot films really well, but he can't tell stories. Yeah. And for me, with Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Justice League, I have broken those movies down a million times, and I'll tell you why they make sense. Anybody who wants to talk to me about it, feel free. Trent C. Tucker is my Instagram. DM me, and I will give you the whole breakdown on why any of those 3 movies make sense. And if you don't think it does, then
challenge you.
Yeah, well, then we'll have a discussion. But otherwise,
come at him. We don't care. Come at him.
I can talk to you about it for days.
Yeah, come at him.
Right, but so I will 100% disagree with that forever. Yeah. But the more movies that come out, Army of the Dead, this Rebel Moon, the more movies that come out with his name on it that I don't think are written well, the less I can defend it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because like, if he does 3 more movies that are shitty, now it's like, well, you've done 6 shitty movies, or 4 or 5 shitty movies, but you still got the Justice League trilogy. You know what I mean? So it's like, now you're starting to outweigh. You know, your good movies are starting to be outweighed by your bad movies. Yeah. So I think, I don't know. So I'm wondering about, now in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, is he maybe not a great writer and more of a cinematographer? You know, but because even that goes to be like another negative is that, I don't know, man. I feel like the acting was whatever to me in this, but the dialogue also wasn't great. Right. But I'm wondering, like, is Snyder just not a character director? Like, is he not the kind of the director that gets the performances? Because like we've talked about this a lot when we're working on some projects. Like, I would be the guy that works with the actors for the character.
Yeah.
But RJ or somebody else would be the guy that works on the composition, because I'm not a camera guy. I'm not really the guy who can set up the shots and make things look pretty.
Right.
But I can get performances, though, because I come from that world.
Yeah.
So maybe Zack Snyder isn't that guy. Maybe he's the technical guy. And maybe writing dialogue, writing characters, and getting performances out of characters isn't his forte.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know, because I noticed that in this movie, too, is that I wasn't really buying a lot of the performances or the dialogue. Right. And maybe that's, I mean, has every actor he's worked with not been great? Or is there an issue with his directing actors? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know. I thought about that a lot during this movie too. So
right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's kind of in your face. It's pretty obvious. That, yeah. Because you're seeing these actors and there's not great performances, throughout. They're you can make the argument, some characters here and there.
Yeah, like, okay, some scenes are better than others, obviously.
Right, yeah. And and some actors, maybe they had more to work with, so they could, they're in the movie more, so they can do more, get a chance to, control it, do better. Yeah. It's definitely there. But yeah, overall, maybe that's true. Maybe that is what it is. Yeah. I mean, good for you for being able to say that. He did mess up on this. I'm still not. I'm not ready to throw him under the bus, and that's going to be a controversial statement for some people. Like, I'm not the fan you are of him, but I will say this: I was talking with my friend a couple nights ago. And I was recommending movies to him. We were talking about superhero movies and that kind of thing. And I recommended, as far as like the main movies are concerned, like the main franchises.
Oh, yeah.
I recommended the Captain America trilogy.
Yeah.
I think as far as Marvel's concerned, that's the best trilogy.
Oh, yeah, hands down.
Right.
Yeah.
And then as far as like a standalone, like main, the big guys movie, I told him Man of Steel.
Oh yeah,
Man
of Steel.
With,
Henry Cavill.
That's his name.
Yeah,
I told him Henry Cavill.
You mean Superman?
Yeah,
Superman.
Yeah. I said Man of Steel. Watch that one. That's because he is a movie aficionado. He's a smart movie watcher. Yeah. Right. So I said Captain America trilogy, Man of Steel. Watch that. And then just if you wanted to, kind of break away from everything, I should have said Sin City.
Oh yeah.
But I said Watchmen.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then it dawned on me later, like 2/3 of what I recommended are Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah.
Movies.
Yeah.
So I won't. I'm not ready to throw him under the bus. I'm not ready to dismiss him.
Yeah.
The last couple of things that he's made have not been fantastic, but that happens with a lot of directors. I mean,
every major director has had
it does happen.
Yeah.
I mean, even Spielberg, go watch I think a movie he made in 1941, I think, or 1942.
Oh yeah,
it came out a while ago. Go watch it. It's, I mean, you can watch it until it's Steven Spielberg at some points, but at some point you're like, Steven Spielberg did this?
Right, yeah. Yeah, even and I know I talked about how I liked Crystal Skull better than I did the first time.
Right.
But comparing those to, even comparing those to the first, Indiana Jones, like they're not the same.
Right.
And they really, if you can call it a dud, you can call it a dud because it kind of is. You know what I mean? And like, so every major director has had movies that aren't good.
Right. I mean, and I think in all fairness, it comes with being a good director. You do have to go for certain things sometimes. You have to try to do whatever to just expand your craft or whatever. And sometimes it's not going to work out. And, sometimes it does. But getting back to the point, like I said, I didn't hate this movie, but for me, it was done so poorly.
Yeah, it's
Like
kind of messy.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
time. And it for me, I'm trying to think like how much of this movie I looked at was like good. Like maybe the first like 5 minutes. I did like them establishing that culture, that planet, that that moon that they were on, and the type of society they had. The further that they got into it, the more I liked it. The more I thought it's cool that this is the life that they've chosen.
Yeah.
But not even once the bad guys showed up immediately. It's like once the bad guys showed up, and then, you know, she decided she had to, well, I mean, for a good reason, that she had to fight these guys.
Yeah.
From there, it was a sharp decline, and it never really picked back up.
Constant, yeah, and for like, I can compare it for me, probably not for anybody else, but for me, it felt like Endgame to me. Like Endgame, the first 45 minutes with everybody dealing with the fallout of Infinity War was amazing.
Yeah.
Like all the characters Captain America's dialogue with the focus group, all these like amazing scenes. It made me feel like, I was like, dude, this is really good. And then, you know, Ant-Man shows up because a rat accidentally hit the switch to let him come out. The whole movie becomes Looney Tunes. You know what I mean? Like for me, after that, I got really goofy from that first like tone setting, like beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And then just became real goofy, like for me. So like that's how it felt to me. Rebel Moon had a very specific tone at the beginning. It was establishing a certain world.
Yeah.
And then it got really goofy. It became really goofy. You know what I mean?
And I don't even think it was, I mean, maybe some parts might have been goofy, you know what I mean? But I like overall it just wasn't done very well. I mean, and that sounds it's not very specific, but I think honestly that's the best way to put it. It was just, and again, it's just like, here's a scene, I'm going to put it right here. Here's a scene, I'm going to put it right here.
Yeah.
And you don't get to see anything about these characters. You don't get a chance to care about them.
Yeah.
Or find a reason to care about them.
Yeah. Exactly like Rogue One. I said it.
Okay. I'm gonna there's a line right here that he's on that side,
Mark,
I'm on this side.
I swear, dude, you have to watch that movie again and tell me I'm wrong, because I do not care about any of those characters. None of them are likable. None of them are like, know about their past. You don't learn.
Even like Donnie Yen's character, "The Force is with me," or whatever you were saying.
I fucking hated that.
Wow, amazing.
I'm the Force with me. I'm the Force with me. Shut the fuck up, man. Like, that's not,
he was blind.
That's how you do a mantra.
Down.
That's how you do a chi focusing mantra.
That's how he does it.
By saying it all erratically, like you're fucking manic. Like that's not how.
He didn't say it erratically.
I'm the Force with me. I'm the Force with me. I'm the Force with me. That's super.
That's all he had to do.
This
was a blind man that had no Force training, but was Force sensitive.
If he was being this like Force monk type guy, do you ever see any like fucking Shaolin monks going like fucking bouncy and blah 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 blah?
Well, let me say like Shaolin doesn't exist yet, because this happened a long time ago.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Booyaka.
Anyway,
but that's a whole different thing. He was like a self-trained monk. He had no guru to be like, calm yourself and blah blah blah.
Looney Tunes, bro.
It's Looney Tunes, bro.
None of the characters mattered in that. But anyway, point being, we'll do a Rogue One episode where we can have a proper discussion about it. I've seen it recently and I still have the same thoughts about it. But like, watch it, let me know. We'll do an episode about it.
Right on.
When we have a slot. But anyway, back to the point.
Yeah. I think that's about it. I think. As far as if we're ready to go into like whether like you'd recommend it or not, or the rating I would give it. Like I said, I didn't hate the movie, but just because it was done so poorly, man, I mean, just because of the way it was done, okay, I got to take everything into account. Like the way it was done, how much I, quote unquote, enjoyed it. I might give this like maybe a 65, because I didn't hate it. Yeah. But it was done very, very poorly. I think that extra 5% is just because it was an original story. So I did watch everything, but I have zero interest in seeing what happens with these people. I'll probably watch it just out of perverse curiosity more than anything else, but that's about it. I have no interest in the world that they've built and established, or I don't know, even established is a strong word, that they were building, trying to build, forgot to build. I don't know. And then as far as like, I would say, if as far as like, drop what you're doing or whatever, I would say maybe watch it if you've got nothing else to do. It's not don't watch it altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is more for, your own satisfaction. If you want to see what's going on or what all the talk is about, watch it, if you have the free time, if you get a chance to do it. But yeah. What about you?
Well, all right, I will rate it first, but there's a couple things that I really got to talk about when it comes to Zack Snyder in general. But yeah, for rating, I'm actually around the same. I'm probably like around a 62, 63, because there's a lot of great things with the style, this brand new world, like taking a big swing on something original, like it has to get points.
Do you care about any of this stuff though? I mean, like the art, I get, but do you care about that world or the characters in that world? Either one.
Not so much about the characters. Like I don't really care too much about them because like none of them have given me a reason for this exact same reason why I hate all the characters in Rogue One. Like none of them gave me a reason to care about their plight. I really don't care about what any of you guys are doing because you haven't given me a reason to. Right. So both of those movies are the same to me as far as character development. Right. So I don't care about really like emotionally. I don't give a shit. But as far as a person like who enjoys Zack Snyder to an extent, I do want to see if not necessarily fixes these issues, but gives us more in this part too.
So you want to see it more because it's Zack Snyder more than it is like this movie has my interest or this world has my interest.
Yeah, I think the
I mean, I'm not trying to say like you're wrong for doing it or whatever.
I mean, it's partially that because it's still a new world that we don't know anything about.
Yeah.
So I do want to know more about this world.
Okay.
Right.
I do not, but okay,
at all,
that's cool.
Really?
Yeah. Because I don't. There's nothing.
Even with it being an original world, you don't want to learn more about this universe or anything like that.
Well, I give a thumbs up for it being an original world.
Yeah.
But I feel like there are plenty of stories out there, like almost every story is almost setting up an original world in a sense. But is it interesting or is it engaging or is there anything about this world that I want to see more of? And there's really not much. The only thing that, like I said, the only thing that really had my interest in this world was the farming community, which was cool. These guys just wanted to live on a farm, which is fine. But I don't care anything about the Empire. I don't care anything. And I'm not trying to be like a smart aleck, but I don't. I'm not interested in how they travel through space and how they open up space portals. In the I'm not I'm not interested in how that works. I mean, a lot of it's not like wow to me, or I want to see more of it to me, again, all due respect to Snyder, but
no, and I think I'm with you on the same part about the wow factor. Like I'm not wowed by it.
Yeah.
But it's still the only original thing that we have. Like I care more about where this movie ends than anything else that Marvel is doing right now. Like I give next to no shit. No, I give no shits about this next phase of Marvel. I don't care about any of the characters setting up. I don't give a shit about the Young Avengers that they're trying to do now. Like anything in the Marvel world, I don't give a shit about. Like that's like don't even show me anything else.
And that's cool, but I don't I don't I'm sorry, I'll keep it brief. I don't feel like because, all these big IPs have done crappy stuff that's going to make me want to see this. You know what I mean? I'd rather look anywhere else for anything original or good or semi-good or give it a chance.
I mean, I'd say good luck, but
I 100% agree. There's nothing else out there. And just because there's nothing else out there, I have the choice to, and it kind of goes back to that, dirty water analogy that we've, made in the past. Like I can either drink that dirty water or I can just not drink any of that stuff and just go someplace else and drink something else altogether.
Right. Because the way I chalk it up to is that I don't know where this is gonna go. I have no clue what this world's gonna be like, what the second movie is gonna be like, what's gonna spawn. I have no clue what it is. I know exactly what's gonna happen in Star Wars, and exactly what's gonna happen in Marvel.
But you've seen something in this world that has your interest.
I'd rather go after the unknown.
Okay.
I'd rather go after the unknown because I'd rather go to, I don't know. I'm lost,
whatever
so.
planet.
Yeah, I'd rather go somewhere I haven't been before than somewhere I have been before. Even if, like, so far the road trip's been shitty.
Yeah.
To get to where I'm going, I'd rather get there to the place I've never been than go back to Riverside, California. Yeah. Which is where I've been.
Hey, be nice. But I agree.
You know
like
what I mean?
Marvel, DC, Star Wars, they've screwed up. They're done. They've burned the bridge.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like somebody saying like, here's a road, and they show me the road, and I'm like, I'm not interested in that road. I'll wait for another road. I guess that's where I'm at right now.
I see what you're saying.
So
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I do see what you're saying too. Like this is, at least there's a possibility of something. Yeah. So you'll check out the possibility of it, and if it's good, and if it's not,
I fucked up.
Then then it's like it wasn't good. You know, I tried it and it wasn't good, and I move on. So,
but it's better. But for me, it's better than not knowing. Yeah, because again, I know where this is going. Yeah, I know where DC is going. I don't need to watch any of James Gunn's movies. I know where they're going. Yeah, like I don't need to do that. So, but I have no clue where this is going. So I'm more excited about the unknown.
And you're hoping it can go somewhere good.
Maybe, but I'm more excited to not know than to know. If I know what I'm getting versus I don't know what I'm getting, I'd rather get I don't know what I'm getting. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, do I want to stay at my shitty job that I know I fucking hate, and I know what Monday is going to be like, or take a new job over at X, Y, and Z without knowing if it's going to be good or bad? You know what I mean?
I guess. I mean,
that's the way I see it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean, the way I see it is like, well, it's okay. I don't want to keep going in circles, but it's another.
If I had to make the decision now,
but the thing is, like, somebody's showing you, like, here's this other job you can go to. Yeah, and it's basically like it's. I don't even know if it's the same thing. I mean, maybe that's part of it. You don't know. Yeah. But you haven't seen anything good about this job. It's like, hey, someone says like, hey, here's another job. Tell me about this job. It's like, it's in Fontana. Yeah, could be. And that's all you know about it. Like, if you've seen nothing to say.
But I fucking know I hate this job. I know I hate my job. Yeah. So, like, I know I'm not going to like what Marvel's going to do in the next 5 years.
I
don't know.
I agree. But to me, that's not justification to be excited, so to speak, or about this world that they've already said, here's this world, and take a bite out of it. Yeah. You've taken a bite out of it, and it's like, this doesn't taste good. Yeah. Like, I've been to McDonald's. No offense, McDonald's, in case they ever want to sponsor. I've been to, let me say, I've been to Restaurant A, and Restaurant A is not good. I ate at Restaurant A for years, and then it just got worse and worse. And then there's Restaurant B out there, and they're not good either. And then there's restaurant, I wouldn't even call this like restaurant like C. It's like restaurant, I don't know, C light or B.2.
Or how about I do it this way?
Yes.
Restaurant A is Marvel, DC, Star Wars.
Okay.
Restaurant B is Rebel Moon.
Yes.
These are the only two stores that are open after midnight. It's 12:01.
Okay.
Where are you going to eat?
And I've already
Rebel Moon Part 2. Yeah. Or the Rey movie, Young Avengers, all female. Blade, that might be about a female protagonist. Yeah. Or they were talking about it. James Gunn's Superman. Or Rebel Moon 2. Those are the only two things that are open after midnight. Where are you going to eat?
Well, for me, it seems like Restaurant A is already closed. Like, they've shut down. They've closed. I mean, they may. I guess technically they're still open. I guess technically, because they're still serving us shit. Yeah. In this situation, and I've already been to Restaurant B at least once.
Oh, but they're serving a new menu item that you don't know anything about.
Well, here's the thing. I already know it's Mexican food, right? I already know it's Mexican food. Because there's nothing else they can really do. Even Mexican food, Twin Kitchen, whatever it may be. I already know Rebel Moon is like this sci-fi opera, space opera thing. I already know this is Mexican food, and I already know I've already had some of the menu, and it's not good. So I can roll I've seen, and they have the same cooks, and they got the same chefs, and they got the same managers that are running the place, and they've already put out some poor quality or some poor products.
Yeah.
And it's midnight. I'm going to go to bed hungry. This is the truth, because I've done this multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to bed hungry and just get up in the morning and find something new to watch. Because I've been to a bad restaurant once, right?
Yeah.
And once I go and people are like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah.
If I've been to a bad restaurant, and maybe this is just me. Maybe it's just me, actually. That's what it is. Because I told you there's a restaurant down the street. I told you about that, and they had like the chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was a chicken sandwich with the waffle thing.
Yeah.
I've been there once, and they fucked up that sandwich they're trying to serve. Yeah. And I was like, this is what you're serving? This poor quality crap? And you're trying to pass yourself off as whatever? I've never been back there again. Went there once, and that was like they opened up. They were relatively new at the time, but bottom line is this is what they put out. And I tried it, and shame on the restaurant for putting that out. Kind of the same thing. Shame on you for putting out this movie. But I do 100% see what you're saying. Like, if there's nothing else out there, and maybe there's potential for this to be good. And I say, in all honesty, I hope it is good. Yeah. Because I don't want bad products. I want to see something good. And if it's good, I will effing cop to it in a heartbeat. I will gladly come back. Well, I'll definitely come back on the show and be like, it's good. Yeah. But just from my own perspective, the way I see things right now, the fact that they even put this out and we're like, here, take this. Like, I'm not impressed with that. Maybe the rated R version will be good. I don't see how they can salvage it. But I 100% hope there's going to be something good. But at this point in time, I've seen nothing about this universe that makes me want to watch any more of it.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to have to agree to disagree on that.
We're going to have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, because that one, that's not.
And I hope it's good, man. I hope whatever they do next, I hope it's good for everybody's sake. Everybody's sake. And I will be so glad to come out here and apologize if we get a good.
You don't gotta apologize for the first one because it's not gonna ever be good.
Well, I'll apologize for my perception of what's coming down the line. Okay, I'll gladly do that. I will be happy to do it because I want good product. And if a good product means me eating some humble pie, man, give me the spoon.
I see. All right, that's cool. I mean, I take it as I've heard bands before have the first album come out that isn't great, and the second album be really good. Okay, you know what I mean? Okay. That's a very real plot, and vice versa. Okay, and vice versa. Very good first album, piece of shit second album.
Right. So you think there's you still see hope in this?
Yeah, I think there's a potential that it could be a second album. Now, if this was like the 8th movie, then it's like, all right,
you guys you see hope because of the movie, because of Zack Snyder, because of both. I mean, I know they kind of go hand in hand.
A little bit of all that, because like 1, we don't know anything about the world, and then 2, I've seen things that Zack Snyder have done that I absolutely love.
So you're really I don't want to say you're really banking on Zack Snyder kind of pulling through, but you're kind of hoping Zack Snyder's gonna.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like,
I hope he does. I mean, like I said, he's again. I've recommended out of the 3 movie things that I recommended, Zack Snyder has done 2/3 of them. Yeah. So I do have a certain level of confidence or whatever in what he's done, especially in the past. But like I said, with this menu item that he's serving, to me, it's not great. I hope the next reiteration or next whatever he puts out of it is good.
All right. Fair enough. So I just got to say one last thing before we get into our final segment. I know we're getting on a little, not too long. That's all right.
I was going to say, man, I thought it was going to be short.
So this movie is sitting at 23% on Rotten Tomatoes. And 100% I disagree. That is a ridiculously low number. Because when you compare it to, I'll compare it to two of the shittiest movies I've ever seen in my life. One movie was called Survival of the Dead. It is George A. Romero's last film in 2010. That was a piece of shit movie, and it came out it was a 29% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Oh wow!
It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen before in my life, and that got 29%. So that's a higher film percentage than this movie.
Yeah.
Batman vs Superman is still at 23%.
Is it really?
Yeah, still at 23%. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, Man of Steel is at 56%, that's ridiculous. So
yeah, I never got that. Even like if you like went on, I remember the first time I was starting to watch it like on HBO or whatever on cable, and it like they have like stars, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4 stars, and it had 2 stars, and I was like, 2 stars.
Based on whose opinion.
Yeah, that can't be right. I was like, oh, they must be thinking of like Superman Returns. I was so convinced they were like, oh, they've got the wrong movie. Yeah. They've got it mixed up. But
no, it's absolutely insane. Like, and for anyone that has, again, do you have any anything to say about that? DM me and we can have a discussion.
Talk to him.
Because and if your argument is Superman needs to be happy and smiling like he does in the comic books, you're already wrong. So don't bring that to the conversation. Bring something else to the table. And then on the reverse side, we still have like Thor: Love and Thunder at like 72%.
Wow, 72% for Thor: Love and Thunder?
And that movie is objectively a piece of shit. There's nothing anybody can say about that movie, redeeming that movie and saying it's that high of a percentage. Like, shut the fuck up. And then also, Return of the Jedi, Episode 8, 91%.
Return of the Jedi?
Sorry, not Return of the Jedi.
Rise of Skywalker?
Not Rise of Skywalker. Fucking, I'm stupid. Not Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the movie?
8,
Number 8, the second movie.
Oh, what was that one called?
Fucking what? I literally just had it in my mind. Shit. Yeah. Anyway, the second one in the sequel trilogies.
Yeah.
91%.
Wow. That hasn't changed? Like,
nope.
They don't,
it hasn't changed. That shit is still that high. Certified fresh. That's a piece of shit movie.
Yeah.
All around piece of shit movie. If you liked it, sorry, enjoy what you enjoy.
Right.
But overall, a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not convinced that there's a specific target on Zack Snyder's work. I think there's an unfair attack on what he does personally, because there's no way in hell the movies can be rated that low when these absolute pieces of dog shit are higher than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, is Disney paying people off? Maybe. Are people attacking Snyder unfairly? Maybe. I don't know. It just seems that way.
You think Disney could possibly be having people throw Rebel Moon under the bus?
Oh, because it was a rejected Star Wars movie?
Yeah, is that what you're thinking? Or you were just saying that in general? No, you weren't talking about
sorry,
this.
about the Disney movies. Yeah. I think
okay, you were talking. Okay, that was separate. Okay,
yeah, sorry, the two different thought processes. Okay. I 100% believe that Disney is paying off critics. I don't. Yeah. I think that can be argued 100%.
Yeah,
because there are a lot of shitty movies that have great reviews.
Yeah,
and I don't know how. I really don't know how. Thor: Love and Thunder, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's a piece of shit, dude.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of disparity. And a 23%, that's reserved for the shittiest movies on the planet.
Yeah.
And they're not in the same category as the movies that I've seen that are really shitty, that deserve that score.
I think Zack Snyder, he does probably have a bit of a target on his back because he is as big as he is or as well known as he is. And then there was so much controversy, you know, with the Justice League movie, you know, so I think people they want to compare, like anything he does is going to be up to a high level of scrutiny, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So there is that one thing. I think that is true. Unfortunately, and I you know, I won't go off again, but this movie it didn't do him any favors, in my opinion. So so I'll, you know, leave it at that. But,
no, and I agree, because I can understand it not getting great reviews. 100%.
Yeah.
That 100%. That's and same with Army of the Dead, not great.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, I said I watched Dawn of the Dead recently, and it hasn't aged well. Really has not aged well. And then, you know, 300 was whatever for me.
Wow, really?
Like, so yeah, I think it was ruined by hype for me. That was one of those movies that really got ruined by hype.
300 was great. I loved 300 when it came out.
I didn't get. Well, we'll get into a discussion about that later.
Yeah,
but you know, so what I'm saying is that I can admit that he's not perfect, and there are a lot of issues with some of his films.
Right.
But 23%, like, that's ridiculous, especially for Batman vs Superman. Like, you just want to hate what he does, and then for this to get that, you just want to hate what he does. Like, there's you can't, like, you have to be able to find what he does well. You can't just sit here and say everything he does is shit. The way he shoots things is shit. His special effects are shit. Everything is shit. Like, that's like a poor way of seeing things. And to do that with just him is ridiculous. I think it's unfair.
Let me ask you this really quick.
Go.
You think you're doing that with James Gunn? Everything he does is shit?
I've seen all of his movies. I've seen all of his movies except for movie 43. So I don't know anything about that movie. But I've seen all of his movies. I know his style. I fucking hate his jokes.
All shit.
Yes. Those are all shit.
Except for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and Super with Rainn Wilson.
It's not all shit.
I was okay. Not all shit, but
walk back some of it.
But
most
yeah,
of the shit. But not all shit.
Most of it. And I can't. And again, I know I say a lot about what he's going to be doing with DC. If I can compare it to what he has done with DC, then yeah, I can assume it's going to be shit. But I mean, I can't imagine he's dumb enough to have Superman throwing off dick jokes. You know, like Peacemaker. I can't imagine he's going to do that. I can't imagine he's that stupid.
Yeah.
But he has a very 7th grade dorky ass sense of humor that he puts in every single one of his movies. Every single one of them. And it's not that good. You know what I mean? So, if that's your style of comedy, then that's a different thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's a different thing. But none of his movies are getting a 23% rating. You know what I mean? And we both agree that Guardians 2 is a piece of shit.
Right.
And that's the certified fresh movie in 87, 89%.
Yeah. And I didn't care for 3. Probably I'll watch it again, but I didn't care for 3 myself. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's not balanced properly. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
and Rotten Tomatoes, we already know
since the beginning we've said it's
exactly
not accurate.
is a poor, you know, metric system for measuring movies.
Yeah. If you guys have
it's a big one, yeah.
If you guys have a system, if you guys know of any better rating systems out there, let us know.
I know. There was one that I learned of. I can't think of the name right now. I'll have to. I can't even come close to thinking of the name, but yeah, there are some other ones out there. Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes is just like the well-known one that everyone, you know,
the accepted one. But I mean, I don't accept it.
But yeah, accepted. Yeah, maybe not accepted, but
it is
well-known.
the well-known, most popular one. So, yeah. Anyway.
Anywho,
what were your guys' thoughts on Love Moon? You let us know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wasn't great. Some cool things about it, but you know, unfortunate that this is a second film in a row that has not done well for Zack Snyder. So. And this is like his opportunity to 100% be in charge of what he does.
Yeah.
And like it's proving to not be great for him to have that much freedom, it seems.
Right. So I mean, the real question, so the rated R version that's coming out later is supposed to be the actual thing. So what happens if that's not good?
Yeah, then it's like, what are you doing, man? maybe you do need to be put in a box so that you can maximize that box that you're in.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a place where there is no box, maybe there's too much space for you.
Yeah. And man, I hate to think about artists being contained, so to speak, but I feel like that has come up a couple different times. Like, I know you didn't like Thor Ragnarok, but Love and Thunder, in my opinion, was worse. I know you were kind of like, it's all shit.
Yeah.
But to me, Love and Thunder was much worse, and it's because he kind of got a green light to do whatever he wanted, I would assume, because of Thor Ragnarok, because it was a hit, and they said, go do it again. And then they cut him loose, and he fucking jumped off the bridge. And then, again, for me, James Gunn, the Guardians movies, first one was great. The other ones have been like kind of in my opinion. M. Night Shyamalan, he a great director, but he did Avatar, Last Airbender, screwed the pooch on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I hate to think that you have to put people, you do have to confine them, because I've always been like, get out of their way, let them do their thing.
Yeah.
Man, I hate to think that, no, you're wrong. We're here for a reason, and here's the proof.
Yeah.
You know?
Like here's maybe that's why there's a budget.
Yeah,
like,
and there's why there is oversight and all that kind of nonsense. But yeah, hopefully you can. I mean, I want to see a good movie. I don't care about anything else. I just want to see a good movie. So,
which seems to be hard to find these days.
Hard to find,
unfortunately.
Amen. Go watch Godzilla.
Yeah, dude, I've seen it twice now, man. I might have to go back and watch it again, because that's like, that movie is the only thing that's gotten me excited in a fucking long time.
Nice.
So yeah, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, there's some more movies on the horizon, but there's like nothing major on the docket that I'm excited for, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just becoming more and more cynical the longer we do the show.
maybe.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Anywho.
Anything we're into this week?
We're into this week. Well, I was on a 11-hour flight back from Germany. It sucked. I know a lot of you are thinking 11-hour flight, that sounds great. You're wrong. So I had a chance to watch, I think even flying over, I was on an 8-hour flight. So I watched some movies. I did watch Crystal Skull again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah. I can't help you, man. You're on your own on that one. What else did I watch?
Did you watch Last Crusade again?
No, I didn't. I think I started to watch it. I started to watch it maybe just this week or last week or whatever. I started to watch it. In the beginning part where it's Kid Indiana Jones, I was up to that point. I think I got as far as him getting the cross back, and then he's in class and he crawls out of his classroom to get away. So
and his name's Indiana because the dog's name's Indiana. Yeah, whatever.
I mean that's just one small part of the movie, so I wouldn't put too much emphasis on that.
Maybe watch them in sequence because they progressively got worse for me. It's
I can see them getting.
Crusade was effing boring to me, but hey.
Wow. So what about the first time you watched Crusade? When was the first time you watched it?
No, I had been when I was a kid because I probably watched them all together at some point. But Crusade was the one I remember the least. I remember the Raiders and I remember Temple of Doom, both of those distinctly. When I rewatched them, I was like, this is what I remember. I remember this because they're good. Last Crusade, I remember Sean Connery and that's it. And then I watched the movie and I was like, well, no wonder why I forgot about this movie because it's forgettable.
Wow. Wow.
But
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I watched This Is How the World Ends on Netflix with Julia Roberts. Yeah, I saw that. It's interesting. I wouldn't say drop what you're doing and watch it necessarily. Yeah. It could have been a very cool zombie movie because there's the world's kind of there's stuff going on kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I mean it was interesting enough, but I wouldn't say drop what you're doing. I watched Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah,
they have a Yu Yu Hakusho series on Netflix.
Live
everybody,
action.
Yeah, I would say go watch that, especially if you are if you've been around for a while and you remember watching Yu Yu Hakusho or you watch the anime or whatever. watch this series. It's not too bad. It's only, I think it's 5 episodes, so it's not that long. And they really, it's a little bit different from the manga and the anime, but I think it still works. It's still good. Yeah, when they showed him getting hit by the truck was like great, because that's how he like when you see it. I think in the manga, like he just kind of gets hit and he kind of like, he got hit by a truck, and this one like the truck hits him, sends him flying, runs him over, goes over him. It's really bad. It's like, he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, he's dead.
Yeah.
But it was. But overall, though, it's not too bad. I mean, they maybe could have done a little bit more with some of the, like the training and the fighting, because those are pretty big moments within the series. But not too bad overall. I watched the Wes Anderson movie, the last one that he came out with,
Astro City.
Yeah.
How's that?
It's not his best work, but it's still good.
Okay.
I mean, it's still entertaining. I mean, it's Wes Anderson. I mean, I haven't seen everything he's done, but everything I have seen has been good.
Yeah.
So
okay,
it's still entertaining.
That's a bummer. Yeah, I was excited to see that one though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, there might be some elements in it that you might like or whatever, but like I said, I don't know if it's his best work.
Got it.
I suppose, but still good. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like it's either like, I mean, I love watching the Fantastic Mr. Fox. I love watching that. And the Grand Budapest.
That was classic. That was amazing.
That's a great one. That's a great one too.
Yeah.
Even the other one he did, like the Post, I can't remember what it's called, like the newspaper one that came out, I think, just after Grand Budapest. But anyways, yeah. So did that. Went to Germany. Did I mention that already?
Yeah.
Oh, let me. I did get you and RJ some Geeks Off the Street.
Oh.
Whatever. Sarate. There's some. Hang on, you listen. I'm not gonna do it too hard because I feel like they will shatter.
Nice.
So, some mugs or some Stein-ish.
So this is for beer?
You can.
I guess for whatever you want.
Whatever you want, yeah.
Oh man,
but
these
it's
are cool.
A nice, cool ceramic mug. Yeah, I mean, you don't get them both. So.
I'll take them both because RJ's not here, so out of mind. Thanks, Mark.
RJ can fight me for
so that I can double fist. No, I'll go with this one because it reminds me of Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw. All right, cool.
Thank you, man.
This will be for
appreciate it. This is really
that's
cool.
Geek Off the Street staff members, everybody.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Now I had something else. Do we want to?
Oh.
Do we want to?
Well, I mean, you mentioned it.
You mentioned it. All right. So when I was in Germany, I was with my sister at the time, and we went to a shop where they sell wine and jams and that kind of thing. You should really watch the video. I got these cool little shot glasses.
Fancy.
I love these things, right? They got like little handles on them.
Gold
now
rim.
I'm gonna crack open, and maybe I should have opened it and let it breathe while the show was going.
Yeah.
I have this bottle of peach wine.
Whoa.
We were able to get a little taste of it.
So you had to buy it?
Yeah, so I had to buy it. Take a sniff. That's the bouquet.
Whoa.
Now, we just had some peach schnapps.
Yeah.
So thanks, Germany, for all your peach stuff. And the weird thing about this peach is, like, the peach by itself, like, it tastes disgusting, apparently. Like, it's not a very good peach.
Really?
But when you mix it with something, or you... Hang on. I'm going to pour it so everybody can hear it. Everybody stand by. Hopefully we can get that sound. In 3, 2...
That's the glug, glug, glug sound.
You're right. That's the sound you want. So we tried this, and it was delicious. It was like the sweetest, most peachy flavored wine ever tried.
Cheers. Thank you.
So, yeah, I'm sure my sister's going to be like pissed. Like, why are you sharing that with normal people? For me.
To all our German listeners out there, there's actually quite a bit, man. It's,
And I was trying to rep out there.
Yeah,
too.
there's a good percentage of our listeners, not a large,
but a percent, an actual percentage.
Yeah, there's a decent chunk. It was like 8% or 9% was coming from Germany, which is insane.
And I was
to
out
me.
there.
So,
I was there with you.
Yeah.
Deutschland.
So thank you. You guys are wunderbar.
Prutz.
The cheers?
Yeah. I said that wrong, Germany. I apologize.
I was going to copy you, but I was like, maybe you're wrong. I don't also be wrong.
Right.
That's alcohol?
Yeah, right?
That tastes
now I'm getting it tastes like candy.
That tastes like candy, liquid candy.
Yeah.
Does it taste like the way you remember? Or was it better on vacation?
It might be a little bit better on vacation, but I've taken a couple sips off of it, and it still tastes like crazy sweet good.
That's very good.
It is straight up
if
candy.
all wine tastes like this, I'd be cool with it. I'm not a wine guy, so.
You can't even tell this is wine. I mean, they called it wine, but yeah, it tastes like what you imagine. I don't know, gummy bears melted down.
Yeah.
It tastes like kind
essentially,
of thing.
yeah. All right, Germans got this down. Perfect.
Yeah, Germany is a big wine country. I know everybody thinks beer and whatnot, but it's a very big wine country. They have a big wine history.
Oh,
and I don't want to say they're more proud of their wine, but I think in certain parts of Germany, it's fair to say they're more proud of their wine.
Well, I still want to go for Oktoberfest.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
I want to drink a ton of beer.
Yes, and a fan of the show is talking about going out there actually, and
oh really?
Yeah, Jack, and he is married to Laura. That she's the one that called me out on the right.
Oh right,
which
right.
Which I don't say.
Yeah,
but yeah. So
we'll join you, Jack.
Yeah, right.
Thanks for inviting us, Jack. Thanks for inviting us.
Just we're gonna need that first class ticket.
Yeah.
It's a business expense.
Yeah,
write
we'll
it
go
off.
out on business. Yeah,
write it off.
Yeah, before we wrap up, I started reading Dune actually.
Oh, did you really? Wow.
Getting ready for the Dune Part 2 to come out, so I want to be able to actually get through the book. I know Vince is a big fan of it.
Yeah.
So I really want to try to get into the world a little bit before tackling that second movie.
Yeah.
I think that's in like April or March.
It's coming out soon.
Yeah, it's coming out soon, which I'm really excited for. So, so reading Dune. Started my it's actually been a while since I rewatched it, but I started watching The Office in the background.
Oh, cool.
That's like my go-to comfort show.
Yeah.
So doing a little bit of that, but that's basically it. Nothing crazy. So
nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
That's it, man. That's
okay.
it. Yeah.
Next week, if you guys want to tune in, we're gonna be covering Spy X Family season 2,
right?
Or part 1, season 2. I don't know if it's the whole season or not, or if it's just the part 1 of it. It's just episodes 1 through 12 of the second season. We'll be covering that next week because we have actually a lot of anime to cover because a lot of anime kind of
wrapped up
this
recently.
month. Yeah,
so, right.
So we're getting into all that anime. So if you want, check that out and follow along with that, and that's what we'll be covering.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think we did it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, welcome back, Mark. Good to have you, man.
Domo arigato and danke.
See, culture,
I learned some stuff.
You leave for a week and you're completely cultured when you get back. It's crazy. But anyway, also Geek Off The Street is going to be back. But thank you. I mean, we didn't really go anywhere to you guys.
Right.
But we've been away for a little while.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for tuning in as always.
Appreciate you. Thanks for continuing to listen.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah. Oh, we just hit 250 subscribers on YouTube.
All right.
Thank you guys for checking us out.
Right.
That's a big deal for us. Yeah, send some money. That was one of our big goals, was getting to an X amount of subscribers. We're not going to mention that on the air, but this is a good milestone for us, and I'm really excited about it. So let's keep going. Yeah, otherwise, I think my name is Trent.
And my name is Mark.
And this has been
Geek Off The Street.
Yes.
I did it.
The show can continue now that I'm back.